What if you could live a more self-sufficient life, grow your own food, and still have time for family and friends? Hi, I'm Lasse, and I live here in Denmark with my small family. We are 2 adults and 2 small children under 5. And 4 years ago we moved here to the countryside. What I'm going into here is that we are creating a small project here. It's called Uld og Ukrudt in Danish. In English that is wool and weeds. And the weed part, that will be me. As we moved here, I sort of stumbled upon a totally overgrown vegetable garden in the backyard where there were a few carrots and potatoes sticking out, and I thought to myself, how hard can that be to grow some food? It's a good hobby to start while the kids are asleep. I can do that in the evening. And what we're going to show here is what works and what doesn't work. You can learn from my bit of failures and probably grow your own whole year's worth of potatoes. The wool part will be my partner. She has become very, very talented in dyeing natural fibers, that is wool, into all the colors of the rainbow, and sewing those into, stitching them and weaving them into different kind of clothes. But yes, along with the vegetable garden, we also have animals, small children, and also some large animals. We have ducks and chickens, and we also sort of stumbled into that. And that will probably be the red line in this project, that we didn't move to the countryside and set out to be 100% self-sufficient. We just moved here as a normal family, awaiting our first child, and sort of found out, oh, what if you have 3 rows of potatoes? What if we have a few chickens? We like fresh eggs. Then we're brewing our own cider from the apples in the yard, and so on and so forth. And that has become quite a few things, and it has profoundly changed the way we live our lives. We are not 100% self-sufficient, and we will probably never will be, but we grow so much now that it attests for almost all of the vegetables that we eat. We also get some meat from our chickens and lots of eggs during the year. We have also a lot of projects planned for larger animals and smaller animals that go bzzzt, and we just want to invite you all in and see what you can do with no skills. A disclaimer, I couldn't even use a screwdriver when we moved here, and now I've renovated most of the house. And I didn't know what, for example, a kale or salad plant looked like when it burst out of the ground. So we started with no skills, and we just slowly experimented every day, build up our skills and skills and skills. And to be honest, we still make failures. We try so many new things, but we learn from all our mistakes. And I hope that that can be useful to you out there, wherever you are in the world. We are here in Scandinavia. It's January now, and it's very cold for this time of year, around freezing. And lately we had minus 16 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. But we had ice on the inside of some of our windows, even though we have a relatively modern 160-year-old house. So in Scandinavia, the weather is going to present some challenges. We also live deeply in the season, so that is both a plus and a minus. So right now we are outside and it's very cold, and probably a few of the next things we're going to do is going to be inside things, preparing for the growing time that is just ahead the corner. In Denmark, we can start some things in March and April. If you do that before, it will be killed by frost or ice or something like that. And I've tried that 1 year, the first year. So yeah, if you want to see how you can live self-sufficiently without a lot of land, without big machines, and with practically no skills, then I think you should jump along on our journey here. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.